which or how you will write the sorry guys, I think I left the meeting by mistake, and I don't know, I spoke a lot of things. I will just be repeating them once again. So what I was talking about is in the 3 days or 4 days of time that you are allotting for accounting before the examination, first and very, very important thing that you should be doing are these 5 chapters or 5 topics: final accounts, non-profit organization, partnership, then issue and forfeiture of shares, and consignment accounting. And if time permits, maybe, BRS and rectification of errors. If you cover these 5 chapters, the first 5 chapters that I talked about, you have easily covered 60% of the paper. 60% of the paper is easily covered in these 5 chapters. And as I have been telling you in the revision sessions as well, it is not that, you'll get all difficult questions in the examination. So if you have comfort in these 5 chapters or the 6 chapters that I have mentioned, in the first 2 days of your preparation, it will definitely give you a lot of confidence booster. That is the first thing. Second thing, as I told earlier also, accounting is the first paper. If you do it right, if you do it the right way, if you do it well, you will have confidence, better confidence to, attempt remaining papers. And this is one paper where you can, maybe target and, an exemption or, more than 60 marks. You don't get exemptions as such, but, more than 60 marks so that aggregate does not become aggregate doesn't remain a problem. Okay. That is the first thing. So first thing is the 5 chapters. Again, I'm repeating: partnership accounting, non-profit organization, final accounts, company accounts, issue and forfeiture of shares, and consignment accounting. Very, very important. Okay. Then Once this is done, in the remaining 1.5 days that you are left with, in that day's time, you can go through other chapters. And in this process, or when you are preparing, ensure that any question you found difficult, any topic you had found an issue, any tricky adjustment you have marked, all of that you write. And this is not the time to solve all the questions again and again. This is not the time to do that. You just must have comfort that, okay, I have gone through my, partnership chapter. I know what is to be done in goodwill. I know what is to be done in joint life policy. I know how to calculate sacrifice ratio, gaining ratio. I know how to do the goodwill entry, table entry. I know how to prepare revaluation account. This kind of comfort is what you should have in the, the revision time, in the final revision like that you are doing. So first 2 days dedicated to this, 6 chapters that I've spoken about, and balance days for the remaining chapters. Okay. Half day plus or minus here and there, depending on your own level of comfort, you should be doing. That is the first thing. Now, on the examination day, what you should be doing and what you should not be doing in accounting paper. First thing, you will anyways reach, before time you would have, identified your center by now. You would have seen how to reach the place and all of that. The first thing that you should do in the first 15 minutes is ignore the first question. In the remaining 5 questions, if you can quickly brush through the 5 questions and decide which question will you not attempt, which question you will not be attempting. That is what you should be, by and large figuring out. And you should also try to finalize what should be the order of attempting the questions in the examination. Say, for example, there is a question, straightforward average due date question, and another question, merged with that, which is also simple question. So maybe you would want to do that question first. Or if you are comfortable in true and false type of questions, and the first question where they give you the compulsory question, you can start with that. Whatever question you start, whether question number 1 or question number 6 or question number 5, start the first question which you have confidence in, which you can solve. Because what will happen is, the first question of 20 marks, if you are able to solve correctly, that itself will give you the confidence to handle the remaining 80 marks of paper. So that is one thing you should be doing. In the order of your confidence, you should be writing your exam. There is no rule that you should write with 1, you should start with 6 and all of that. Whichever question you are comfortable with, you should do with that. Then, while solving a question, if you get stuck somewhere, if you are not able to proceed and you have spent decent amount of time, please stop doing that question and move on to the next question. I'll tell you what a lot of students do. They will take up a question, let us say consignment accounting or maybe final accounts. Okay. On final accounts, let us assume it is a 16-mark question or a 20-mark question. You should be ideally spending 30 to 35 minutes. You have spent 35 minutes and you have, let us say, done trading P&L account. Now you have started balance sheet and somehow the balance sheet does not tally. Now, because what a lot of students do is, I have already spent 30 minutes in solving this problem. Let me spend another 10 minutes to tally the balance sheet. Then also the balance sheet doesn't get tallied. Then again, you'll spend more time to tally the balance sheet. Even then the balance sheet doesn't get tallied. And ultimately, you will not have sufficient time to answer remaining questions. And let me tell you, if your trading account is correct, if your P&L account is correct, some of the working notes are correct, then out of 20 marks, you'll easily be scoring 15 marks or 16 marks. Just because some entries in the balance sheet are incorrect. And if you spend, another 20 minutes to do that, you will get extra 2 or 3 marks only. Okay. So very, very important. Define the time. Okay. I'll spend 30, 35, 40 minutes for this 20-mark question. After that, just stop that question, leave 2 pages if you want to, and move on to the next question. And let me tell you, this will help you to score better rather than trying to, do the given question correctly. Because a lot of time it is ego issue, right? How can I forget this? How did I did it so many times? I know this adjustment. Leave it in the exam hall. Just leave it. It was a bouncer. We could not attempt that paper. We could not attempt that question. It's okay. Leave it and move on to the next question. Target should be to attempt as much number of marks possible rather than trying to perfectly answer 50 or 60 marks. If you do 90 marks on an average, some mistakes here, some mistakes there, that will give you better marks rather than doing, no, I want to do 100% accurately final accounts, 100% accurately consignment accounts. Please don't do that. And one more thing, if at all you find any question to be lengthy, then that question you should generally try to do it towards the end, because lengthy questions take a lot of time. I remember once in my income tax paper, 6 marks question, it went to 4 pages. Okay. 6 marks question went to 4 pages. Sometimes that happens. So if you feel the question is lengthy, the answer is going to be lengthy, keep it towards the end, because initially the comfort that you should have is, I have solved many marks question. I've secured, let us in the first hour. By the end of 1 hour, if you finish 30-35 marks, then you will have a different level of confidence. Okay, so that is how you should be doing. So that is one thing. Then importantly, you should write or prepare working notes for anything which is not given in the question. That is very important. Narrations are very, very important. Even if you write a small one-line narration, that is okay, but please write narration. You can simply say, being 100 shares, application money for 100 shares at ₹10. That is okay, because not writing narration, especially at foundation level, they will deduct 1 to 2 marks. That is for sure. So narration, working notes, and my request to everyone is, when you are preparing triple column cash book or when you are preparing partners capital account, don't try to shrink in everything in a single page and try to write in very congested handwriting. If you want, use the horizontal pen. If you want, leave space and do it in the next page, but don't write in the margin, don't write below the margin and all of that. It becomes really difficult for the examiner to value your paper. That is another thing. Then whenever you're doing final accounts related questions, NPO related questions, standard 1 page for balance sheet, 1 page for P&L, then for working notes. Okay, because by chance, if you do some error, you should have space to come back and correct your error. Otherwise, what will happen? You will not be left with space. So that is another thing which you have to keep in mind, right? So lastly, this is what you should be doing. Don't do computational mistakes or take calculators, extra pencils, extra pens, scale and all of that. Drawing lines and all of that, you can do it towards the end if you have time. Okay, if you don't have time, just fold the paper and solve the papers. Okay, so this is the broad thing that I wanted to share with you before you go and write your CA Foundation first paper, and make the first paper the best paper. Remaining papers will automatically fall in place. Okay, and as I told you earlier also, after the examination is over, come back, fold the question paper or keep the question paper aside. Don't look at it. Don't discuss with your friends. Don't do a postmortem. You can do postmortem on 1st of July, not before the exams are completed. Okay, so there are some questions. Let me just go through the chat box. Company's account revision class. It was by mistake. It was uploaded on my personal YouTube channel. I think we have uploaded it again. Okay, so just give me a moment. I'll just check. Indigo Learn. Okay, so I'll just share the link with you. Just give me a moment. Okay, then there is another question which says which questions to focus on. The questions that you should focus on are those questions which you had found difficulty while preparing. Okay, there is no single standard list. The things that you found complex, the things that you have marked in your answer book, that is what you should be referring to. Then use as many papers as possible. Don't be a miser in the examination hall. You are paying the fees, please use it. Okay, you should have lots of ways. I know institute doesn't make money out of examination. That is there. Any specific question you have till the time I pull out the thing. Yes, I'm sharing the link here to everyone. Okay, this is the thing on company's account, which by mistake got uploaded on my personal channel, right? Yeah. Tips for first question: true or false? See, true or false? True and false is fine. We have, each examiner has their own way to give marks. So don't expect you'll get 2 out of 2. Always I, believe or I assume that I'll score only 1 out of 2 marks in the true or false question. Write whether it is true or false. That's the first thing. Then give a reason. Now, a lot of students, what they do is, the reason is just opposite of the statement given in the question. So say, for example, if they say, this account is to be debited, Okay, so you can say this account is to be credited. That is fine. But in some cases, don't repeat the question itself. Try to add something extra to the question. Not more than 3 to 4 lines. Not more than 3 to 4 lines in the answer. Theory के लिए, so Swati's topic, important topics, we cannot define important topics. One way to figure out important topics is if you can just scan through last 6 attempts exam papers, 5 or 6 attempts exam papers, right? That itself will give you an idea what kind of questions are being tested repeatedly. Okay, then those of you who are who want to have a look at past exam paper, I'll just analysis. I'll just share with you something so that you can have a look at it, right? So just let me share the screen with you guys. So what you can do is, you can just go to Indigo Learn login. You can open the dashboard, and under the dashboard, under this hamburger option, you have this free resources. Under free resources, you have this past exam analysis. This is not the time-driven analysis, but still, this kind of analysis actually helps you. So here is what this is what is the focus area for all of you, which is this 31 marks here, this 15 marks here, and this consignment and these two. This is the focus area. You can quickly go through this, and those of you who want to look at the past exam papers at a single place, we have it here as well. For theory, if you want to just go through theory part, you can just click on here, and then can take the suggested answers. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 attempts. If you are able to even cover the theory of these 8 papers, a lot of them would be repeated, definitely. Okay, so that is one thing what I would have it, right? I think I have shared what I have to share from my side, right? From tomorrow onwards till the examination, till the exam ends, right? It is your time. Study well, prepare well, stay healthy, take care of yourself. Anything, any help needed, please feel free to ping. There will be a lot of anxiety. We have talked about this in the previous session also. Please follow what Supriya ma'am had told regarding your breathing techniques. I think sleeping also she spoke about, correct? So please follow them. 1 minute of conscious breathing, focused breathing will help you to calm down in the examination. And one more thing that I would like to tell every one of you, a lot of you would have experienced that after you come back from the examination hall, and once you reach home, maybe in your 10th standard or in your 12th standard, you will like, I knew this answer, I knew this problem, I knew this solution, but I did a mistake in the examination, or I could not recall it in the examination. And the reason is, when you are stressed out, it is difficult to recall. It's very difficult to recall things. But once the exam is over, once the fear of examination gets out of your head, then you are able to recall things easily in the exam, easily after the examination. Now, I am not telling that you will not get stressed. Okay. So even if I have to write an exam today, I will get stressed, right? So stress would be there. Acknowledge the stress, take deep breaths, follow the count, same count of breathe in and same count of breathe out. Do it for a minute. That will relax you, relax your brain, relax your mind, and then you focus on what is to be done. Very importantly, again, answer the first question which you know the best. Okay, and that will set the tone for your examination. I hope all of you pass with flying colors, and we'll catch up after exams and regarding what you should be doing, what all skills you can attain in the time gap between your examination and your result date. Okay. So thanks a lot for joining in. Will not take much of your time now. All the best and do well in your examination. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you guys. Thank you everyone. And we'll see you soon in first week of July with some things as to what you should be doing in the free time that you'll get after CA Foundation exams. Chalo. Have a nice time. Take care.